All right, so in response to the Tea Party, and that's a name that we called this event later, it wasn't called that initially. Um, when the colonists dumped the tea into the Boston Harbor, the tea at the time was worth 10,000 pounds, which today would be well over $4 million. So the English aren't too happy about this, right? That's a pretty big loss of revenue. I also should tell you this was a perfect Sons of Liberty event because all that was destroyed was the tea. A lock was broken in trying to get to the tea, and somebody went back the next day and replaced the lock. So it was very coordinated, very organized, very much a Sons of Liberty event. But the response by the British government was 4 separate acts. Now, what's significant for us is these are 4 separate things. They're the Port Act, the Government Act, the Justice Act, and the Quartering Act. But we don't call them that. In the colonies, we call them coercive or intolerable, which kind of shows a shift in thinking and sort of shows how we're kind of thinking about things now. Now, the link that you had explained what each of those meant, but I'll tell you again real quickly just so you can kind of have it from a different perspective. So the Government Act Port Act. The Port Act closes the port of Boston until the tea is paid back. And I just told you that was 10,000 pounds then. Today that's well over 4 million, close to $5 million. So that's pretty punitive to force them to pay this tea back. It's going to destroy the economy of Massachusetts and of Boston. The Government Act basically takes away the right of Massachusetts to self-govern, puts a guy by the name of Gage in charge, and he is a military guy. So now Boston feels like it's under martial law. The Justice Act, the third one, says that if somebody's putting down a riot and somebody is killed, the trial for that person happens not in the colonies but over in England. And as you can suspect, the colonists assume that trial won't be fair. But also, from a British perspective, they feel like that person wouldn't get a fair trial in the colonies. So again, it shows us we're really starting to kind of take sides here. The other part of the Justice Act is it's not a jury trial; it's a military court. So it feels it's not a jury of your peers. A lot of things that happen in this period we're going to see later in our Constitution, and that's one of them. So is this next one, the Quartering Act. The Quartering Act said, okay, you ungrateful colonist, now we have to enforce even more stuff the British are saying, so we're going to have to send over a whole bunch of troops. We don't have time to build barracks and find space for them, so you're going to have to house them. You have to provide them quarters. That's why your Third Amendment right says that you do not have to do this, because it's something we were forced to do in this period. The key for you, though, is we call all of these things coercive or intolerable. And that's actually where we're going to start next in the next lecture, is the point of these acts was to kind of isolate Boston and Massachusetts, kind of make them pay, but it's ultimately going to bring the colonists together. All right, if you've got any questions, you can put those in the discussion board. I hope you're doing well. Take care.